Okay, welcome back inside the Ohio Health Ice House. We're going to go ahead and send it down to our public address announcer, Andy Storrs, getting you ready for the Panthers and the Bulls.
New York, number 30, Ian Shorthouse. On defense, a grad student from East Amherst, New York, number 8, Jake Battistoni. On defense, a junior from Webster, New York, number 11, Tanner Woodruff. At center, a junior from Clarence, New York, number 12, Richard Ledyard. At left wing, a senior from Buffalo, New York, number 17, Bobby Pietrowicz. And at right wing, a junior from Rochester, New York, number 20, Austin Pianizak. The head coach of the Bulls is Jeremy Kirsten. His associate coaches are Grant Ledyard and Michael Schalberg. And now let's start the lineups for the Davenport University Panthers. In goal, a senior from Huntsville, Ontario, number 1, Tanner Swift. On defense, a senior from Brighton, Michigan, number 23, Mike Gessler. On defense, a junior from Kentwood, Michigan, number 55, Walker Orand. At center, a junior from Stittsville, Ontario, number 89, Alex Halford. At left wing, a sophomore from Spring Lake, Michigan, number 16, Chris Corrigan. And at right wing, a senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 22, Everett Thompson. The head coach of the Panthers is Phil Sweeney. His assistant coaches are Bill McSween, Matthew Sikozin, and Joe Messina. The trainer is Kathy Basuder. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all caps. And join me, soloist Andy Storrs and organist Gary Lichthart, for the singing and playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flare, the pumps bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Our officials for this morning's game, as assigned by the ACHA and the U.S.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back inside the Ohio Health Ice House here as we get ready to have the ACHA tournament, the opening game of the tournament, and the national championship. Drop the puck here, and the two netminders for the two teams here. Davenport will go with Tanner Swift, and the Buffalo Bulls, they will go with netminder Ian Shorthouse.
Yeah, when I saw the name Shorthouse, the Canucks announcer for their televised is John Shorthouse. And I don't know if it's a relative, but boy, this is exciting. This facility is first class.
Yep.
LED lighting. It's just that they put our name in the ice. We're ready to go.
Yeah, it's time. I'm sure these two teams have, as the opening game, have been ready to go all morning, and we are up here. And the two teams come to center ice, and the opening faceoff is going to be controlled by the Panthers. Mike Gessler in his own end sends it across to Walker Orend. Orend with a lead feed. It's going to be directed in by Corgan. Chasing back to get it will be Tanner Woodruff. Woodruff knocked down on the play. Puck will skirt around into the near side corner. Buffalo able to come up with it there, but DU spikes it back in deep. Played around to the far side corner. Help comes down low by way of number 12, Richard Ledyard, there to help out for the Bulls. It comes to the near side line but doesn't get out, and the Bulls kind of pinned in here as Ledyard tries to get it out. He can as Sherman Mowry kept it in. Now the Bulls will get an opportunity here as Ledyard stumbles a little bit. He is hit hard, but he gets the red line and puck kicked up ahead now, and Formica's going to get a stick on it. You got it, I take it. And finally it's grabbed by Fonseca. He'll try to stab it in further, but it's going to be grabbed off by Penzak.
That's a great zone time here by Davenport. They're just controlling the play right now. The nerves about to be top shelf.
Yeah, absolutely. As the Bassage had that scoring opportunity, nearly redirecting one home. Guidelock held the line, and it's going to be played around. Bettistoni comes over to help push it up the wall. It doesn't get out, though. Ian Thompson to the middle. Fonseca's run out, and the Bulls will clear it away here.
That was a good chance presented again by Davenport. It's got the Panthers taking it to the Bulls right now. They got a hemmed in bit.
Yeah, just less than a minute and 30 into it. A centering pass there didn't get through. There's a shot. They score! Corgan! Or check that, Cowan on the goal. 1-0 Panthers.
Yeah, that was one of those right in the circle. He got the screen that he wanted and pulled the trigger. A great goal here by the Panthers. Up, one up, first period.
What a start for the Panthers. Less than a minute 30 in. They jump ahead to 1-0 as the goal, the team leading now 19th for Cowan, and the Panthers get the start they wanted.
Yeah, if you're the Bulls, you just got to settle down.
Let's see, the Panthers are right back in, though. Halford, a rising shot that he tried to find room on the short side and could not. Lizicki back to Halford. He'll protect in the circle and angle it off the boards. Bussing will activate to help keep it in. Sent on through, and now cleared away to the line. Bussing again will step up into it. Trying to keep it away is Connor Guay.
Yeah, the Panthers are just taking all the space away from the Bulls here in this opening section.
Puck to the line there, and that was nearly redirected in on the short side there by Halford, and now Weisgerber is going to run into the net, and we will get a whistle and a face-off with just 2:04 into the game, and DU already up by a score of 1-0 over the Bulls.
Yeah, you can see the coach leaning over the bench. He's having a little chat. He wants to get an explanation from the referee, but yeah, the play is just top shelf right now.
Face-off's going to be in the far side circle here for the Panthers in the offensive end.
Yeah, the Panthers, you can tell they came ready to play and getting the goal back on its moorings. And we actually have pegs in this game, which is nice to see for a college game.
Yeah, we really want those nets to stay in place here. We keep the flow going. Plus, hopefully no accidental knockoffs. As there's another centering pass, and DU really in the face of Stackhouse here in the early going, or Shorthouse, excuse me, in the early going.
Yeah, you could say Stackhouse. Maybe we'll see him stack the pads away with that old school.
Good save there, thanks. There's a shot on it, gets put behind the net, and again cleared up the wall. Gessler will keep it in inside the line. That is gloved down, and the Bulls will now look to skate out with it. They need a change as they were unable to, as it was deemed that they knocked the net off, and they will get a clear and a line change on their end. The Panthers are in control of the puck, though. Lead feed was intercepted. Look out here. In comes the Bulls. They'll drop it off to the point. A shot there and a save by Swift as that was let go by Woodruff at the point. DU now is going to flip it down the ice, and this will have enough for icing, and that'll move the faceoff back down into the Bulls' offensive end here.
Yeah, it's, the Bulls finally got into the zone, and they made a nice play, but I would think that they need to come and be a little more patient with those shots, the shot selection, and get somebody in front of the net. I think that's what they're going to need to beat Swift today.
So DU comes in having won 7 of their last 8 after being 10-10 before Christmas. They got hot down the stretch, and that's how they got punched their ticket to the 14 seed. The Bulls, meanwhile, started 3-7. They finished up 19-4 and with a conference title, and that's how they punched their ticket into the national tournament. And a turnover there is going to get brought in by Penizak. His shot was blocked on the way through. Oren tried to poke it away. Now it's going to come up onto the stick of Ledyard. Into the corner it goes, and DU in control. They lost it, though. There, it's turned over. Chance in front, and bonding it just wide was Penizak.
That's so fun to see when they get it that close, but he lost a little space there. Elbows in, hard to make a good shot when your elbows are up against your body.
Bulls, though, still on the possession, and there's a shot that got redirected in front. That was let go by Szynski.
It's a good confidence builder for the Bulls to get back into this game with some good shots and some good possession time.
There's an outlet that was intercepted. Now Ogden's going to bring it back in a 2-on-2. Moves to the face-off dot and in. It got poked away on a good defensive play there by Battistoni, and now it's tied up along the boards. DU able to dig it out. They try to get it back to Mike at the point. He stabbed it in, but the play had cleared the zone, and the offside call will put a face-off at center ice.
Yeah, it's that offside. I haven't seen much in the college game anymore of the of sending the offside all the way back to the other zone. That doesn't get called very much anymore, the intentional offside.
That is true. I think all year I've seen it maybe twice on in the entire season of which I called. So I agree with that. And that was one the official yelling at it there. Player touched it right over the line, but they deem it just an accidental offside, kept the face-off at center ice.
Yep, advantage went to Davenport at that point.
The Bulls were able to flip the ice, though, and now they'll have an offensive zone face-off as Michael Lask settles in to take the draw for the visiting Bulls. Face-off is won by Guidelock. He's going to play it around the bottom of the kick plate. Missed a couple of sticks on the way out of the zone. No icing here as Bennett's got to race back to it. Coming over the top will be Will Stryker to help out.
Yeah, good back checking there by the Panthers.
The goal scorer, Cowan, was in on that one. Tried to knock it down at center, but DU does control in the middle of the ice surface here, but the Bulls right back on it. D-to-D passing, looking to bring it out of their own end. Toss to the red line, couldn't get deeper. They kick and jab away at it at center. Halford's going to come up with it on the right wing side, and he'll move it in over the line. Nifty stick handling move by Alex Halford, and a shot that got blockered away by the netminder Shorthouse.
Yeah, nice pair of hands there to come into the zone and make a couple of moves.
Lazicki hands back on to Halford, who is gaining the zone in full flight. Throws it to the middle, deflected on the way through, and cleared into the corner. That was by Alex Bauer. He'll now tie up a check down low. Bulls try to fire it around. It doesn't get out. It comes around to the far side shortboards. Held in by the Panthers once, and now again. Plug fanned on the shot. That didn't get all the way through. Held in for a moment, and now it's going to be knocked out of play. The Bulls will be unable to change with 14:45 to go in a 1-0 lead for the Panthers.
Yeah, this is a back and forth, back and forth. I think the nerves have finally been shed by the Bulls, and they're back into this game. They should have some confidence with the zone time they had. They just have to try and figure out how to play the neutral zone. They're letting Davenport come right up the middle, and they're trying to stop him at the blue line. And with the speed that Davenport has, it's just not going to happen. Yeah,
the Panthers, real good team in terms of team speed. One of the things that Coach Sweeney tries to build for this team is it's turned over there as DU looks to dig it out of the corner. It's going to be played up and out of the zone as Gessler touched it, so there will be no icing here, and Oren will come back to get it. Walker Oren behind his cage. We'll just put it on a tee for Everett Thompson to grab. Thompson moving up through the center of the ice. Cuts through the middle. Thompson out to the right wing side. Fires a shot. Save was made in the rebound. Is now behind the cage. The Bulls will gain control there. Clear it up to the line and not out. A little bit of a free hand there. Play by Ryder got it off. Corrigan was met by 4 Bulls, but it's going to be grabbed and held by the netminder Shorthouse.
Yeah, Shorthouse has seen enough. He wants to hold down and calm his team down a little bit. He had some time and space there, but that was a smart play by the netminder.
Yeah, when you're feeling under siege, maybe whether you are or not, but if you're feeling under siege, getting that whistle and allowing your mates to change, always a good play.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job. He's been taking the angles down. He hasn't backed into his net yet, so the nerves aren't there with him yet.
Well, maybe the early barrage helps. Kind of, you got to get right into the game and ready to go.
Yeah, how many times have you seen that in hockey where you get no shots on goal and sit there and it's 10-1 and all of a sudden you get that easy one.
Right, and that's exactly what maybe Swift might have to be worrying about down to our right as the Bulls will chop it to center here. That is Plug on it. He'll look to fire a pass that caromed off a skate. Basic will come back and help out for the Panthers. Back to Plug in his own end. Good forecheck pressure there by Penizak. Forced the play, and now they get the turnover, and Penizak looks to bring it over the line. He got bumped on the way through. It comes out of the boards, and Penizak just going to chip it in now below the goal line.
Again, for the Bulls, again, finally controlling the neutral ice. Again, there's 3 zones here, and you want to play all 3 to be successful.
Battistoni now it's the offensive zone that the Bulls are playing. That pass they couldn't control on the way around, and DU's going to sweep it to the line, and Fonseca is just going to dump it out. It's grabbed by Battistoni. DU going to have to make a quick change here, and it's brought right back in by the defenseman Battistoni.
That's something you see now in hockey that you didn't see for many, many years, is rather than shooting the puck down the ice, lofting the puck so you don't get the icing and you send it in the neutral zone or into the other zone without a chance of an icing.
Yeah, you got to be so careful because you don't want to get in a situation where you can't change, and that's what that icing rule has forced teams to do. A little bit of a bump back behind the play as the Panthers will look to carry on. Ian Thompson over the line, left wing side, fires a shot. That's stuck into the corner, and Cowan will go get it. From the hash marks down below the goal line, and it's going to be grabbed. Quick little move there by Ogden. He looks to come out of the corner. It got knifed off his stick. And it's going to be controlled now by the defenseman Austin. Austin clears it to the line. Layla shot. That got blocked on the way through. 2 guys come together to the near side wall. And it's played behind the net where the Bulls will have an opportunity to break out here. Little toss to center ice is going to be skated into by Guay. He overskated, and it's going to be an offside call coming up here. Face-off at center ice with 12:11 to go in the opening period.
Yeah, as a player, one of the things that's really hard is when the puck comes into your skates. If you can't kick it up to your stick, the last thing you want to do is look down. You're just looking for a pasting.
Yep, especially at this level, you got to have your head up all the time. As Walker Orendel played it along, and now it's Alex Holford through the middle. Holford winds, fakes, now carries in further in a left wing shot. I think Holford sees something on that left post. That's the second time we've seen him come in on the left side and look to kind of catch the netminder short side.
Yeah, I don't know if Shorthouse is getting side to side, but again, there's that top corner. He's not the tallest goalie, and I think that's probably what they're looking for, to get up and over his blocker.
Yeah, standing out only 5'11", it seems like most goaltenders nowadays 6'3" and taller.
Yeah, if you can lean back on your goal with your elbows and not be slouching, you're a tall guy.
I like that. That's a good criteria to look for, as the puck will go out of play here, and the faceoff is going to go into, I believe they pointed into the offensive zone for the Panthers, but they're going to talk about it for a moment.
Yeah, a little break in the action, and looking forward to the next game up. At 2:15, we've got Vegas and Drexel playing, so that'll be a fun game to watch. Yeah, the
13-20 matchup follows this one here as Weisgerber's in on the offensive foray. Tapped around the boards and knocked away by Wilk, and it's going to come on back behind the Bulls net. They will carry it out of the zone. Right wing side on the backhand, flipping it further is going to be, that was Kubler getting it deep. DU will reverse flow, but holding the line is Wilk. That's a shot that's fired into the far side corner. Everett Thompson lifts the stick, and it's going to roll on through, right on by to the defenseman Wilk for the icing, and DU now will be unable to change as the Bulls have an opportunity.
Yeah, this time rather than the linesman, the ref skated over to control that bench and kicked a couple of players that had tried to sneak off for Davenport. So.
Yeah, the linesman, as that rule has gotten older, they've gotten better and better at that, making sure nobody sneaks on during an icing call.
Yeah, it's hard because somebody's got to go retrieve the puck. That's one of their jobs. The other job is to control it.
Oh, Everett Thompson nearly put it right around a defenseman, and then he tripped the goaltender, and then Everett got hit back behind the play. A lot going on that opportunity. Meanwhile, it's going to be, we get a whistle back behind the play.
Not sure what happened there. I was still concentrating. And, again, the refs let him play back there. I think that was a good call that there's a little retribution for tripping your goalie and hit him without the puck. You could call interference, but he was not able to make a hockey play anyway, so play on.
Yeah, no penalties or anything here. Just a face-off at center. Flipping it in deep below the goal line will be Jake Battistoni. That's played up ahead. And Tanner Woodruff will come back. He's forced by Basic, laying around the bottom of the near side boards. And now played back to the far side. Good little fake by Woodard, looking for some room. Tanner Woodruff, I beg your pardon, had it for a moment, leaves it back behind the cage.
Yeah, this full court press that Davenport got is really being effective for the breakout.
Yeah, it's the Bulls struggled to get out of their end there and ended up just sending it deep as Penzak peels off for a line change. DU now clears it off the far side board. A stick lift by Fonseca allows him to grab control, and Maury will sweep it in. Shorthouse plays it off the boards. Good job there, activating by the netminder to help the Bulls clear out. Puck played it into the DU end, got as far as the top of the circle, and then the Panthers clear it, but then they turn it over. Carrying right back in will be Austin. Austin a shot, and Tanner Swift will make that save. There's a wind and fire, and that missed on the short side. DU will retrieve it high along the near side boards, and that puck ends up out of play. And with that, we will actually step aside with 9:58 to go. DU on top here by a score of 1-0. You're watching the ACHA National Tournament.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, the official merchandise sponsor of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official hockey tape of the ACHA. And by the Three-Legged Mare, located right in the heart of downtown Columbus.
Welcome back inside the Ohio Health House here as we get ready to get back to action as the 19-seeded Buffalo Bulls going up against the 14-seeded Davenport Panthers.
Yeah, Thomas, the last shift that we saw, you could see the intensity, and I think the nerves start out at the beginning of the game, but this last shift, you can see both teams, the forechecking, the back checking, the zone time. This is where I think we're starting the game, actually. I think you got to take what you take at the beginning. I think it was really actually good for Shorthouse to touch that puck. I think that brought his intensity level up. Now we've got some shots on goal on Swift. We've got a hockey game.
Absolutely. Just halfway through the first period, two teams will settle in for the faceoff. Everett Thompson will settle in against Szynski. And it'll be won by the Bulls, thrown towards the cage, and it went through the 5-hole of Tyler Plug, which he's not playing goal, so that won't end up in the goal, and DU will look to break out now. Again, in full flight, bringing it up, protecting as far as the line. Oh, Everett Thompson just run over. Big hit thrown by Cantor.
No call on the interference. Again, they're going to let these boys play. As long as they stay consistent between all three periods, we'll have ourselves a good ref game. That's
really all you ask for, is that you see consistency and don't then call a ticky-tack penalty some point middle of the period or anything like that.
Yeah, or tighten up in the third period. That's what drives players crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point, as Thompson spun and threw it right in between his defensemen. Swift is going to come out and tee it up, and Oren will grab it.
Yeah, they're the last to touch the puck, so it wasn't icing. It's interesting to watch the breakout that they have here. They've got this, they flood one side or the other. It's been very effective for the Panthers against the Bulls right now.
And getting it right back to center was Shorthouse there. That's one way to help kind of beat a team that's trying to get into it. Shorthouse has done a nice job of getting in and kind of deflecting some rushes from the Panthers.
That was a dangerous play, went into the feet. Anything can happen when it goes in front of that net with all those sticks and feet.
You're right about that, as Ian Thompson will touch up the wall. Oren will play it around the kick plate. Coming over to keep it in are the Panthers as they work to the left side circle. It's Gessler now at the middle of the blue line, finding Oren. That shot blocked on the way through, or deflected on the way through. Ian Thompson wanted to gain control, could not. Now the Bulls will come away 3 to the center. Chipping and chasing will be number 7, Connor Guay. Guay forced off there by Oren, but he tied him up nicely to get a battle in there. Lask in there as well. Guay with it, centering pass. That was read by Gessler, and he'll clear it away for the Panthers.
Yeah, it's always a great hockey play. When in doubt, just put it in center and maybe somebody's there. Especially when you've got your back to the play, you're up against the boards, just flip it to center. It's always a good hockey play. It's a well-coached team.
Yeah, you got a center iceman whose job it is to go right through that zone there. As Cowan has it, he's the goal scorer for the Panthers. For Micah, a drive, and that got blocked off into the corner.
That was so close. I almost had a tip in by Hilford. He was standing right there. He had a stick down.
Banging his stick coming off the bench is Weisgerber. It didn't get through to him, and Cummins now will bring it to the line and out. Nice little dance on through by Formica, and he's going to go ahead and tip it in.
That was good board play there by Cummins. Stayed with the puck.
And that puck is going to be, I believe, end up hitting somebody on the Bulls bench on the way down, and that'll move the faceoff back down into the DU offensive end.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, when you're a player, you're at the bench, and sometimes you have your gloves. I like watching teams that stand during the they're in the game. It's good body language to stand. Although someone if you've got to lead, the patience to sit. I don't know where side of the fence you fall on, Thomas, but
there's a quick goal. We'll get to that thought in a minute as Sherman Mowry grabs it, and DU takes a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Bulls got caught puck watching, and everybody, they left them alone, and all of a sudden it's in the back of your net. Unfortunate for the Bulls to go down 2-0 here, but there's a whole game here left, a couple periods. I'm sure Jerry will make some adjustments when they go in, what he saw, what he doesn't like, and they'll come out smoking in the second period.
Well, and to keep in mind, these two teams played twice during the regular season. Buffalo fell behind 3-0 in the first game, 2-0 in the second game. Both games, they got it back to even. So a lot of hockey still left to be played here.
That's a good point. It's they don't quit. That's the message you can take from that.
Yep. The goal by Maury for the Panthers will be his 11th of the season.
I want to give a shout out to Howie's Hockey Tape, the hockey tape, official hockey tape of the ACHA. Stick with the best, Howie's.
Face-off is won by the Panthers as we resume action here. Fonseca's going to tip it down. A little too much energy on that as it will go the length. No, they wave off the icing as it died at the last second. Bad luck break for the Bulls there, but they have control as Woodruff has it.
Yeah, I think Burchett kind of slowed down, and the ref saw that. Like, I'm not touching this.
That is one of the things that can negate an icing, and now DU will be unable to change as they said that puck went out of play in the DU end.
Yeah, this has been a great game, back and forth. So far, we've had the Panthers controlling the play, but the Bulls they finally figured out their neutral zone presence, and that's going to hopefully give the Panthers a little bit of fits here.
An offensive zone face-off, they drop a man into the shooting hole, so a big opportunity here. Sazinski couldn't get it on his stick. And DU now has it. Lale plays it across. Corgan's going to sweep it up. Fire it rink wide, Ryder. Nice play there. He got by Stryker, who pinched in a little bit. Ryder across, and it got deflected. Great job getting back by Bennett as he kicked that centering pass away. Bennett then had it poked off his stick. It's just going to be gently laid ahead by Stryker, and the Bulls now with speed over the left wing side. Cutting to the middle, and Sazinski couldn't get the shot on. DU buried into the corner. It comes up the wall, and it's going to be grabbed by Stryker. He'll just send it back in. It didn't get to his mate. Now it does, and it comes back to a third time for Stryker. That shot was blocked. Ryder slowed it up, but it was grabbed and just angled in now and put in deep by Woodruff.
Good zone time here by the Bulls.
I beg your pardon. That was Bennett who kept it in for the Bulls, and now it's tipped out to center as Stryker will fire it in. Sign for the Bulls to change as Swift will come out and tee it up for DU. Formica into the far side corner. Looking for an outlet. He'll just lift it high, right between the defenseman and down. And they're going to say the defenseman did not have a chance, an opportunity to play it. And an icing will flip the ice surface here.
Yeah, that was an intense shift there by the Bulls. They had really good zone time. We've had a ping pong match going on between the winger and the defensive guy, and it proved to get some chances.
It's a good way of saying it as they went back and forth about 3 or 4 times between the wing and the point, and the referee blows the whistle on a face-off interference, so we'll do it again.
Only one getting kicked out, or are they both getting kicked out? Nope, just Davenport. Have to switch up.
A face-off win there, though, even with the winger taking the draw. Cowan was able to pull it behind him. DU tried to tip it out, but it was fired in, and now it's going to sit on the back of the net here. Gessler's going to try to flip it off. Instead, he's going to hold it on the cage. And we will get another whistle on face-off coming up here.
Yeah, it's so important when you're in your defensive zone to win that face-off and control the puck. Because if you don't get it, the other team's already in position,
yep.
And they've got the play they want in their head. The defense doesn't know what that play is, and it's always important to control that puck. Another win.
Yep, and Guidelock going to play it around the bottom of the kick plate now. It's going to get as far as the line, not out. Held in nicely there, thrown in front and directed, and Swift had to be quick to get a leg out on that one. That
was a nice little touch there.
I believe Kerbeil had the original point shot, and it hit somebody in front of the net. But Tanner Swift was quick to get the leg out there. And back at center, and it's going to be chipped ahead and brought in by Guay. He'll move in. Right wing side, fire it on through. He's looking for a redirection in front by Schiffman. It never found him. And Ogden will turn for the Panthers. Ogden up the right wing side, carries it through, cuts to the middle and fires it. And an easy save made there by Shorthouse with 4:51 to go in period number 1.
Well, so far, not too much extracurricular activity after the goalie is holding on to the puck. They've been pretty polite to each other, but I think as this game goes on, that politeness, it's amazing how quickly animosity builds in a hockey game.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, and it's especially when you throw in national tournament and one and done, that'll help spike it real fast.
I'll say this is an Old Testament game, an eye for an eye.
That's well said. Well said as Lazicki will go retreat in the corner. Weisgerber moves to the middle. It's tied up along the boards, though, as the Bulls will move it up and gain possession and clear it on out. Ledyard tips it in. rolling it in deep now, or excuse me, Ledyard's tipped it in and gave chase after it. DU able to pull it out from behind their cage. Dangerous skate out there by Holford. He'll end up turning it over, and now the Bulls are going to move to the middle with it, and they collapse quickly as Penzak couldn't get the opportunity. As you said, 3-on-2, and I guess Holford didn't see that, and he just chopped it into the near side corner. Holford in control, will play it up the line to Gessler. Gessler, a shot short side, it's in! They score, and it's 3-0 Panthers!
Boy, that puck had seeing eyes to get through that set of bodies there. There's no chance for Shorthouse to see that puck at all. Hit his own defenseman, and Davenport parked right in his crease.
Yeah, point shot that you said it had eyes, and boy, I tell you, it was tight to the post, but it still found some room there short side and got in.
That's a poor goalie. That's the one thing when you got to have your elbow tight, your blocker up, and just somehow made its way through there. We'll have to see if we can get a replay on that during the period to see how that worked.
Yeah, and it was let go by Gessler. We'll see if he gets credit for it if the officials say it was deflected on the way through, but Buffalo will bring it in, now down by a score of 3-0. A shot on there is going to be held off and saved by the netminder Swift.
Yeah, I think as I've been watching this game, as you see what's going on here, it's been fun to see the Bulls are much more successful when they dump and chase. They've been trying to bring it over the line, and there's a picket line set up by the Panthers, and breaking through that means they have really poor shot selection when they come into the zone, just like this.
Yeah, Woodruff won, the draw was won back to Woodruff, who let it go, and as you said, Swift could see it, and they'll get the glove on it.
Yeah, if you're going to shoot from the blue line with nobody in front, Swift's got an easy save.
I think the lesson can be learned from the last goal by the Panthers where there was traffic in front and it found a way through, even though it looked like Shorthouse, I beg your pardon, was right there for it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's too early in the game to have start to have D pinching, but I wonder if they're going to start taking some chances.
Well, that was fanned on, and it's turned over by the Bulls D as Fonseca's going to shoot it on, and a rebound. Bastich had his stick tied up nicely on the defensive back check there by the Bulls. Puck behind the cage where Woodruff is going to angle it around. It gets as far as the corner, and now the Bulls are going to shoot it up to the short glass. Good little pass across, but Woodruff couldn't handle it. He's given a little time and space into the near side corner. He'll go rink wide and another rink wide feed. Thompson will bump off Cantor trying to cut through the middle, and it's flipped in by the Panthers. Shorthouse will backhand it around as he hits Bennett. Puck now into the corner, played around, and the Bulls will get an opportunity to clear out as we have 3:05 to go in period number one.
Coming across.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's a good little patience there, bringing it into the zone, waiting for his players to come off the bench.
So a fresh bull line out there as Guay tried to keep it. His stick broke, and that's going to give Bussing an opportunity as he'll just backhand it. Oh, it's turned over. A glove is lost now as we got a broken stick and a glove close to a yard sale on the ice, but the glove gets picked up as it's tossed to center. And now coming back the other way is going to be Bussing. He had it poked off on a nice back check there by Schiffman.
Yeah, there's a lot of snowed the goalie. Yeah, that's going to take some retribution.
Yeah, that was a clear snow shower, and I believe Tyler Lale, the defenseman for the Panthers, took exception to the forward Schiffman giving his goaltender a little shower there.
Yeah, he's getting a little talking to their Schiffman about from the referee about sportsmanship in the national championship. No penalty called, but
still looking for our first penalty of the game. The referees are Sean Fernandez and Stan Cesaric. The linesmen Jake Davis and Chad Fuller.
Yeah, I've been impressed. They've called a really good game so far in the first period, and good roughing crews here for the first game to open the tournament.
Orend, after a face-off win, a little set play by the Panthers as they fired around to the near side boards. It does not get out as it's held in by Lask. Unable to fight through there was Ian Thompson as it's going to be spiked back in. Orend does battle there, two aside, as trying to kick it free as the Petrowitz. It squirts free to the middle, but Ogden there for the Panthers to clear it away. His outlet pass was blocked down. Gessler on the follow-up, and it's going to be grabbed by Ian Thompson. Tries to fight through, puck kick to the middle, knocked away from Ogden, and now the Bulls will turn back.
Yeah, the Bulls are so much more effective when they're taking the time and space away from the Panthers. Much better play, much more control.
Nearly a too many men call, but the Bulls are able to complete the change. They got a stretch pass here for Wesley Austin.
He touched it. No, he didn't. I thought he got his blade on it. So, Thomas, your opinion.
Yeah.
White tape or black tape on your stick?
Black tape.
Black tape. Why would you say black tape?
Black tape, because get the goalie thrown off. Is it the stick coming at him or is the puck coming at him?
Can't see it?
Yeah.
I always like that debate.
Highly scientific there, and just what I've seen. But that's what I'm going with. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. As the Bulls have control, as they win the faceoff and now are able to clear it out. Stumbling over the line was Austin, but he's able to get back to it. That got knifed away by the Panthers on an outlet. Lazicki fights through as he pokes it free, but there to grab it is Kerbeal. It comes back to the Buffalo defenseman. Kerbeal behind his cage, looking for an outlet. Decides that the right wing side will do it. And it's brought ahead by the defenseman, Wilk, who flips it in off of Swift. And now Wilk on a retrieval tried to fire it right on goal from an acute angle. It ended up hitting a leg, comes back to the line. That's kept in. And we're going to get our first penalty of the game, and it's going to go to the Panthers, as I believe an interference call upcoming will put the Bulls on the power play with 1:03 left in the period.
Yeah, this hopefully get the Bulls back into the game. We'll have a chance to see the PK by the Panthers and see the Bulls on the ice for the first time. I'm not sure if they got their right crew up there, if they were on the ice or not, but yeah, they've got their first line out there for taking this, taking the power play.
The Bulls do have an opportunity here. The Panther penalty kill only clicking at 74.5% on the year. Meanwhile, the Bull power play at 25.2%. So some opportunities here for the Bulls. That's a really good power play percentage and a kind of average to below average penalty kills. The Bulls have it now. Good dogged work by DU to help keep it into the corner. That's turned and fired, and unable to bunt it down was Cantor, and it's cleared the length.
And here we go. They got a full court press on. It's always a good way to slow down a power play is mix it up with the D trying to come up the ice.
Basic right now applying the forecheck pressure. Now 3 Panthers on the blue line as it's gained. The line is gained by the Bulls, though. Spiked away, but grabbed on now by Petrowitz. Played on into the corner. Nice give and go here. They move it through an open net, and he fired it just over the post. Did Cantor? He's got to be sick right now.
What a look. That one's going to haunt him in his dreams. That was so close. Beautiful power play, though. They set up exactly what they wanted. They're moving around the perimeter, push it in, and open it right across the goal mouth of the seam, and then punch it in. Just a bit outside.
Yeah, I tell you, he had the cage was open, but just put wide there. And remember that here as it's going to be cleared down the ice by the Panthers into the final 15 of the period.
Yeah, if you're Swift, you got to go, oh, man, I dodged a bullet.
He's looking to the heavens one way, is looking to the heavens the other way as the forward here with 3 seconds to go. 2 and then 1. It's going to stay into the corner, and that will do it for period number 1, a period that sees the Panthers strike 3 times and lead by a score of 3-0.
Yeah, if I'm the Bulls, I'm going in again. As you said, they've gone down, and in the 2 games they played prior, both of those games were in Davenport. So again, don't hang your head. Come out in the second period, make some adjustments, and I think the one thing the Bulls have to try and figure out is the speed.
Yeah.
And as soon as they started to do the dump and chase in the last half of the period, it much more effective, much more zone time than trying to bring it up and over the blue line in control.
Yep, so we've reached the first intermission. We're going to go ahead and step aside, take a break. DU leads 3-0 over the Bulls. We'll be back. You're watching the ACHA National Tournament. Welcome back inside the Ohio Health Ice House. Here's the first intermission winds down. DU, the Davenport Panthers on top by a score of 3-0 over the Buffalo Bulls through the first period of play so far. And Jay, kind of give us your thoughts on the first period.
I think on the first period, that first goal was just all nerves. And that's one of the things that I think the Bulls struggled with in the first 5 minutes of the game. But they came back. I think what I saw mostly is a very, very fast Panthers team, with the Bulls struggling with that in the neutral zone.
And then shots were credited in the first period as 10 for the Panthers, 7 for the Bulls, and neither team had a full power play. The Bulls, though, start with a fresh sheet of ice in 56 seconds on this power play.
Yeah, I really like the way the refs are calling this game. There's been some times where in past games I've seen they might have blown the whistle, but they're letting the lads decide it on the ice. They're not taking the flow away. It's absolutely fantastic to see, especially in a national tournament game. As long as they keep this up, I'm going to give thumbs up to the reffing crew here.
We will keep an eye on that. We don't want to start seeing ticky-tack penalties called, that is for sure. The goal scoring recap was Cowan scored from guide lock at 1:28. Maury scored off a turnover unassisted at 12:38. And then at 15:53, Gessler on a seeing eye shot got assisted by Weisgerber. That's the goals and the assists for the Panthers. Meanwhile, the Bulls start with a one-man advantage with 20 minutes back on the clock.
Yeah, 56 seconds, clean sheet of ice. Let's see what the power play can do. And as you said, they've got a pretty 25% power play. So, 1 out of 4 chances.
They were also in the season series against the Panthers. They were 4 of 9. So they've had some luck against the DU penalty kill, to be specific, too. As they start, though, with down in their own end, Maury will make a check and now just kind of try to tie the puck up along the boards. Weisgerber digs it out. He played it off the side of the cage, and now the Bulls will look to break out.
Took 20 seconds off the clock doing that.
And there, actually, Woodruff was forced back as he had to reload, and now the Bulls will finally get into the offensive end. Weisgerber with a stick lift. Referees let that go, and it looked like a good call as it was stick on stick, or at least that's what it looked like from here. And a clear out to center ice.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to come out like this sometimes actually on a fresh sheet and slip and slide around, but the clock's winding down. They got only 10 seconds left. One more shift and one more possible rush up the ice here.
Let's see if they can get this in here. Is trying to get wide, and nice job fighting through a check there by Szynski. He'll now take it all the way down below the goal line as the power play is officially over for the Bulls.
That's what I'd like to see more by the Bulls, is take that puck all the way down the red line, then check out what your options are rather than coming across the blue line and making a shot.
Wow, there was a player wide open in front that just got run over as Lask. He was looking to snap a shot. It never came to him on the pass, and then he got run over. It's Everett Thompson leading the rush back the other way, and he'll pick it up for the Panthers, and it's ended up being slipped all the way through everybody in the length of the ice.
No icing here because touched it last.
Panthers will look to clear out now. Cowan, who's got one of the 3 Davenport goals. It's played off the near side boards and over the line. Ian Thompson's going to sweep it in. It didn't have enough bounce on it, and Thompson had an opportunity. As it going to play it behind the net was Wilk. It just never showed up there for him, and that allowed Ian Thompson an opportunity.
Nice cutting off the angles by Shorthouse. He came out to challenge that shooter.
Now the Panthers gain the puck, or gain the zone, the center ice zone one more time. And backhanding it in there is going to be Bussing. Out to play it will be the netminder, Shorthouse. It's turned over, though. Davenport on it. Good stick tie up there by Thompson to keep the pressure on. Kerbeil will run a man off, and then he gets spun down to the ice. But he allowed the Bulls to come in and take the puck away. Lead rush for Wesley Austin. He's in a race with Formica. Formica dumped, hit the boards awkwardly, but quickly back up to his feet here. None the worse for wear, or so it seems, and DU will look to clear it out.
That's always frightening when you go in skates first.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to be much worse than what it was. He popped right back up ready to go. Puck below the goal line. The Bulls find it. Center it through, and it just missed Austin, who was loose in the slot. DU will look to clear it out. In the period of the long line change, Ogden couldn't get it deep. Ian Thompson with a bit of a bump. It's going to be grabbed at center ice and fired on in there by Guidelock. It was into the glove of Shorthouse, but he'll drop it and keep the play going. DU was able to complete the wholesale change. Moving back in, though, are the Bulls on the offensive. Turned over right inside the line. A long stretch pass here as Lale, the defenseman, will jump up into it. He's cut off by Woodruff, and Woodruff takes it on a rough ride into the corner.
Good forecheck there.
Now,
Panthers.
yeah, that was a defenseman too, leading the rush there as the Bulls try to bring it on the left wing side. Player got crunched going in, and Fonseca now with a check. Looking to dig it out here is going to be Ledyard. He's got it. Ledyard fires one on, and a good save by Swift. Rebound comes out high. Played up to the top of the circle, winding and firing. That was blocked on the way through as it didn't get through.
Yeah, I got some good zone time here going on by the Bulls. Again, they're taking the time and space away. They were trying to get that dirty one by parking players right in front of Swift's eyes.
Yeah, one of the best opportunities of the period is Maury will glide into Shorthouse and a little pushing and shoving, but they will break apart peacefully for now with 16-13 to go in period 2 and a 3-0 score.
Yeah, they were just discussing each other's GPAs, and one said mine's higher, and so he got the wanted to get the facial off.
Yeah, he took a lot of offense to that, hearing that the GPA was higher.
All right, sorry for the technical difficulties. Got a little bit of a nice stop there by Shorthouse.
Yeah, he had
Holding his
opportunity
ground.
on the pass across, but he also got over really quickly too. DU drifting back into their own end. Lazicki has it. Hands it on to one of his defensemen. It was dumped to an open wing. Nobody there, though, for the Panthers, and the Bulls will look to get on the offensive here. They clear it to the line, does DU, and Holford will sweep it ahead. Could be a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Weisgerber with Holford going, and he just put it out of his reach.
A little too much in front of that stick, but it was a good play to show your stick. Show your stick if you want that pass.
Yeah, and Holford did. It just Weisgerber put it a little bit too far, and the Bulls now chop it to center. It was a little bit behind Schiffman, so Oren's got to go back to get it. No icing here. DU will have an opportunity to gain control as they are in their own end, and a long stretch pass missed everybody, and it's going to be an icing call, an offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Bulls. A 3-0 score with 15:21 to go.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought, that was a great play done by bringing it up the ice, and but you get caught sending up the stretch passes. And we haven't talked about this, but the number one Minot, when you watch Minot, watch their game. No short passes. I mean, no long stretch passes.
Yeah.
Everything is a short pass. They always have puck possession. There's 2 people on every puck. That's a game that'll be really exciting to see upcoming and to watch the number one team, the way they play. It's a very simple game, and there's never a pass over 10, 15 feet.
They take the ice tomorrow at 8 p.m. They will get the winner of our night game tonight, Arizona State, Missouri State, as we've got 4 games each of the next 3 days for you. That'll whittle the field on down to 4, where we have 2 games with the national championship coming up on Tuesday. All of them brought to you by the ACHA on YouTube here. So glad you could join us here. I'm Thomas Biondo alongside Jay Sewell as the Panthers and the Buffalo Bulls are playing the 14-19 matchup here, with the winner having the right to play number 3 Lindenwood tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I don't know what the coach talked about in the corner for the Bulls, but it seems to be effective. They have much more jump in their step than they had in that first period. Formica
tried to jump in to keep it in, and I agree with that assessment all the way. I feel like they may have had more attack zone time already in this period than they may have in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the first, but a nice little touch pass has Corrigan bringing it in and ringing it off the post. Great chance there by Corrigan to make it 4-0. Doesn't happen. Stolen away. Corrigan again, a shot that was deflected on the way through and will be held by Shorthouse. And we will get a whistle on an offensive zone face-off for the Panthers.
It was fun. It's rinse and repeat. Corrigan tried the same thing. It was a little off about a little bit too much to the right a little bit, to the goalie's left. But you could see him looking at that corner. And like we talked about in the first period, I don't know what they've been seeing on films, but they're really trying to get at that blocker.
Yeah, absolutely they have been. And they have worked that. That was how the Gessler goal scored on the other end. Somehow found room through the blocker there. But back to action we go as Ogden just turned into a hit. Cowan in over the line.
Those are tough because you have your head down, and nice of the Bulls not to just paste him as hard as he could.
He did get run over into the corner as Cowan now does battle 2 aside. Bulls in there as well as Szynski. And there's a shot, and that just ends up into the near side corner.
Boy, that came out of the scrum just like wicked fast.
Circling to the line, and DU was in the middle of a change. So Cowan comes back out to center, holds on to the puck, and a shoot-in deflected off the stick of Cantor, and will go out of play. It was Cantor who had a great opportunity at the end of the first period on the power play and just fired it over the goalpost.
Yeah, it was beautiful open net. They executed that power play. They walked it around the perimeter and then slowly moved it in down low and straight across, right through the house and just put it over the goal.
Yeah, Swift was down and out, and he ended up putting in the mesh netting over the play, and that was probably the Bulls' best chance of the period. And now the Panthers look to dig it in and redirect it in, and Spasic will do just that. Behind the net, protecting well here is Kerbeal. Played up to the line, not out. Lael had it and then lost it. Look out here. Opportunity for Ledyard, trying to cut in. Ledyard still on it. Throws one, just couldn't pull it all the way in until he had gotten down below the goal line.
Yeah, you start to run out of room, and then you have to do what they did. Just be patient, take it around.
Yep, they're going to keep it in, though, and a point shot there got knocked away by Swift, and that actually looked like it bothered the DU netminder, but it does end up out of the zone as it's poked out to center air. Bulls finding their legs again. That was shot in off of Sherman Mowry, played on back to Lael and back to Mowry, who will hit Basic in full flight to bring it out of the zone. Basic through center ice, moves up the right wing side, fires one, and that glanced off the glove and will go behind the net. Bulls now look to keep the play going. They'll backhand it out to center. Giving chase is Connor Guay. He couldn't come up with it. A little drop pass there. We'll find Holford. Holford moves it in, throws the brakes on, cuts back in. What a move and a shot, and that got the boards. Plug with it now. Plug, a point shot through traffic. Couldn't hold it cleanly. Could shorthouse, but now we get a break if they can find the outlet, and it could not for the Bulls as Schiffman couldn't come up with that pass, and it's stabbed back in by Holford. Pace quickens here, and Shorthouse has seen enough of it.
Oh, there we go. Maybe not. Yep, there's a little bit of pushing and shoving under the pile there, but rightly so. You don't want anybody landing on your goaltender.
Or pushing a player onto the goaltender, which is kind of what happened there.
Yeah, I tell you, Shorthouse saw that last shot at the last minute. I mean, it just came off that stick so fast. And again, that's goalies, you know, if you lose sight of the puck positioning, they're just drilled. There's 5 positions, and just, you know, based on the angle, get down into that 1, 2, or 3 position.
12:15 to go in period number 2. 3-0 our score as the Davenport Panthers lead the Buffalo Bulls. But the Bulls will win this draw and look to clear out. It's thrown ahead to Cantor. He'll sweep it in. It's going to rim its way around into the far side corner where Austin has it. He got bumped. Back in to help out, though, Szynski. DU, though, able to jump on a loose puck, and they will look to bring it out. It's thrown to center, bouncing down right in the center ice circle. Good job by Tanner Woodruff to center as he'll play it out. A lead feed here would have been offside, so peeling away as Cantor instead of going in after it, and DU will have an opportunity to clear it. That's read nicely and turned over. Cantor's shot kind of fanned on it, just came off a stick wrong, and just angles now in as the Bulls look to keep the pressure on. Szynski to Cantor.
Yeah, you get that top hand in the wrong spot, and it comes off the heel.
That's exactly what happened on that one, too. It just slid right off the back. Look out here. They got a man moving through the middle. Couldn't get the pass through. It's angled back up to the wall. Battistoni jumping in. Bulls starting to warm to the task here. Battistoni, the defenseman, in deep. It's turned over, moving to the middle, and that got poked away. Poked again to the line. There's a point shot. That got the back glass. Swift tried to hold it up on the net. He could not, and one of the better shifts we've seen from the Bulls. A rising shot. That hits the boards. Good job keeping it in here by Battistoni.
You have to work that cycle down low like they've been doing. And again, that was a dump and chase move that gave them that zone time that is so important to them.
Plug now comes up with it. He'll gain the line and fire it deep. DU was out there for a long time, but they are able to make a line change now. A turnover here. Look out. Moving to the middle. They score! Mowry!
Yeah, that was unfortunate, unforced error there by the Bulls, and an opportunity that came up then for the Panthers. Nice play again, keeping track of that puck, not giving up on the play in their own zone, coming all the way back down and scoring. That's what happens a lot. You see that on power plays. You stop a power play, and you come back down and score. So congrats there to the Panthers. Nice job.
It's got to be somewhat deflating after having all that zone time, though, for the Bulls, and then they end up the shift by giving up the goal.
Yeah, you could see they were actually a little tired. Cantor coming back to the neutral zone. I don't know if he got something going on, but he looked like he was moving a bit gingerly when he was coming through the zone when they got scored on here. I believe
it was a long. He might have been out there over a minute, though, on that shift, because he started that whole play with the possession, and then they had it for a good 40 seconds in the zone. Meanwhile, DU now looking to get back on the offensive. Basic wipes a man out, but it was followed up by Ledyard. He's going to tip it off the glass. It gets out to center, to the red line, and now in. It hit somebody on the way through, and DU able to come up with it. Ian Thompson wraps the net and plays it up right to himself through the middle of the ice.
That was a tough shift change. It's only 5-on-4.
Oh, and Ian Thompson just went end to end with it and got a good opportunity, just couldn't quite finish it. as Shorthouse with a big save to keep the Bulls in this game.
Yeah, the Bulls got caught on a line change, and they only had 4 players, and the fourth player on the ice was trailing the play.
And with that, we've reached the midway point of period number 2. We're going to go ahead and step aside and take this break with them. 4-0, Davenport leading the Buffalo Bulls.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron's Championship Rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA National Champions and Hall of Famers. Boston's Pizza Restaurant and Sports Bar, gourmet pizza, burgers, wings, and more. We've got you covered. And by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Back inside the Ice House we come here after the break. DU on top by a score of 4-0 in period number 2. 9:53 on the clock, and the last goal scored by Sherman Maury to give the Panthers the 4-0 lead.
Yeah, that was a beautiful setup. Again, Bulls got caught puck watching, plus they were on the ice for a long time, bad shift change. You combine stack mistakes like that, and you're going to find the puck in the back of your net.
And that's what happened there. Now the Bulls, after the immediate timeout here, will look to get back to it here as it's played on through. Trying to cut in is Austin. He could not. Played to the line, not out. There's a shot. Scores!
Here we go. We got ourselves a hockey game.
Kyle Welk with a shot. Not sure if it was deflected on the way through, but the Bulls are on the scoreboard.
Man, that puck came off his stick so fast, and I'm sure Swift thought he had the angle, but nope, it's back of the net.
Wilk was the first one through the handshake line. Usually that means that that's the goal scorer. The Bulls will take the lead as a shot from the top of the circle, a little bit outside, finds its way through, and we have a 4-1 game. And we've talked about it. These two teams played twice during the regular season. Davenport had a 3-0 game that turned into a 4-4 game, and a 2-0 lead that turned into a 4-4 game. A lot of hockey left to play here.
Yeah, I'll see if that puts that jump back in the Bulls' step.
Yeah, they had it taken out a little bit after the good shift and then giving up the goal, but a goal and the shift after always so important. It's played to the middle and just out of the reach of Lask, who might have had a good opportunity. Now DU with possession, a lead feed. Everett Thompson brings it over the line. Plays it on through, it's controlled and backhanded, and what a stop as Ryder with the opportunity, and the save was made by Shorthouse.
Yeah, he just stayed with it. Shorthouse, I tell you, came up and challenged that shooter. Nice to see that he hasn't given up on this game at all.
Those pads probably feel just an ounce lighter now that his team's on the scoreboard. Anything's possible here.
Yeah, we were chatting about that last night. It's a very simple, if you just think about math, every stop the goalie makes is one less you have to score.
Yeah, there it is. I like that. Simple hockey math as Halford comes in after the face-off win. Just throws one toward the cage.
I'm sorry for all of you out there that we were told that there would be no math in this.
There's always a little math in everything. No matter how you try to keep it aside, there's always a little math in everything. Puck is played up at center. Halford couldn't come down with it. It's going to find its way over to Everett Thompson, who took a axe of a swing at it. He didn't connect, but the Bulls on the delayed offside have to clear the zone. Lead feed is going to be tipped over the line by the aforementioned Thompson. Grabbing it is Battistoni, who turns into the corner, turned into trouble, and ended up losing control of the puck, but he got helped by Kubler. And it's flipped to center, and Oren pokes it away.
Little double hit there off the stick.
Now dropping off to the middle and having to peel back as there was not much for Halford to do with it. He loses control, and the Bulls bring it on back. One of the guys wearing the C, Szynski, sends it in deep as a sign for the Bulls to make changes. Gessler behind his net has it for the Panthers. Long stretch pass is deflected in by two-goal shooter Maury. He deflected it in from the wrong side of center, but Shorthouse bailed him out by playing the puck.
That was pretty close. It's one of those frustrations that coaches have. Like, there's a big red line there.
Bulls dig it out and now skate it out. Looking to cut free, and nice move there by Pinazak. He'll play it in, and Swift will slow it up. Penzak had the opportunity and rolled it in, and it will be held by Tanner Swift with 7:38 to go in the second period.
Yeah, so for those of you watching the broadcast, if you saw that red line that we have here, we actually have the stars going through it that they have from the symbol of the Blue Jackets, but that goes all the way back to black and white television when Canadian Broadcasting, CBC was playing, and from black and white television, you can't tell a red line from a blue line.
Yep.
Based on the angle of the shot, they had to do something with the blue line. So you always see a checkered line at the red at most arenas.
That's right on, and that for that reason. And Formica was in on a pinch as we get back to it here. He lost it, so the defenseman's got to get back, and now it's going to be played in by Lask. Sent to the middle. It's going to miss everybody and roll right on through down to the Bulls netminder. Shorthouse seems to be pretty active playing the puck. It got stabbed away from the forward Guay trying to cut through. Ian Thompson now applying the pressure, and Lask can't kick it out of his skates cleanly, but the Bulls are back on it. It's sent rink wide. Nobody grabbed it, and on second effort, finally it's going to be grabbed, trying to carry through with Schiffman. He could not get in. And Fonseca's going to play it ahead. It hit Ian Thompson, who will look to wind up, and he's going to play it to a flat-footed defenseman guide lock. Rink wide for Micah. Yep, that's exactly what they do. They reload to get the speed going. Unable to kick it fully ahead was Ian, and then a shot by Fonseca gets blocked away. Ogden looks to send it in. Fonseca played it off the glove, couldn't get control, but the follow-up by Ledyard keeps it in. DU kicking it forward here was Ogden. DU in the middle of a change actually finished it for the defenseman, but a penalty upcoming, and Davenport will get their first power play of the game.
Yeah, that could have either been holding, but they're calling hooking. He did grab a hold of his sweater as he was trying to charge around him, so we'll see what get a chance to see the Panthers power play here, and a penalty kill by the Bulls. Again, Bulls are back in this game. They've got much more jump in their step. They're taking down away the time and space, and we'll see if they can keep the Panthers off the board here to stay in this game.
Yeah, big moment of this one here, this Panther power play. They will go to work at 20.3%. Meanwhile, the Bulls penalty kill clips at 87%. That's a really high number when you're only giving up 13% of your power plays or penalty kills only end up in the back of the net. That is not bad. That puck hit a stanchion, though, and died behind the net or hit something odd, and DU's had a chance, but the Bulls get the clear.
Yeah, it got caught on the back of the net.
Wow, that would took a weird hop, but none the worse for where the Bulls is they'll get it the length, and DU back behind their own cage to set up. Everett Thompson with a feather ahead. Carried on now by Halford, right wing side. Cuts in, had it poked off, and the puck came out of his stick, but good support by the Panthers to get it back to Fonseca. Straightaway shot, it's deflected off and goes into the far side corner.
There were 5 people in front of Shorthouse.
Fonseca and Halford will switch off. Halford now saucers one over. It's Ryder with a short angle shot. That got the glass, and Fonseca's going to be able to keep it in. A little bit soft on it, couldn't come up with it. Look out here, could be a break. Trying to protect is Austin, and a great back check by Halford to break up the rush. Fonseca got knocked down, and then we go. They wanted to send it through to Cowan. That didn't work. A stick lift, and it'll come out to center.
Yeah, you can see why they're effective on the PK. They are playing man-to-man.
Yep. Ogden moves in, cuts in, and a bullet shot. That got the glass. And it's going to be cleared. No, it did not, and it had some steam coming off it. Under 5 to play in the second. 33 to go in the man advantage. It's teed up for Cowan. Actually, both overskated it, or Cowan let it go. It was the second skater in that'll grab it. DU's Ian Thompson over the line. Cuts around to check on the left wing side. Throws it to the middle, and they score!
Well, I tell you, that was a beautiful play. They came down the line and around the net, and it's just waiting. You can see that it was a play that's been drawn up on the board many times and that they've executed during practice, because they had 2 guys coming in. They had the cut guy coming off, and so the goalie's got to watch 2 guys now that might have the play, because you got to take the shooter as a goalie. 2 guys came in the trailer on the play. No one picked him up. Puck in the back of your net.
It looks like Joey Ogden was the first man through the handshake line, and Ian Thompson did the heavy lifting down the wing for him. We'll get the official call, but DU with that goal will restore their 4-goal lead at 5-1. Now Tyler Plug will come over and grab it for DU. Hand off, and the Panthers will bring it right back out. Snap pass to the leg. Look out here, bouncing puck at center, and Plug right back on it. Guide lock plays it ahead. That hit the official, stayed in the zone. Look out here. There's a chance, and Swift makes the save, as I don't think Ledyard got as much on that as he wanted, and Swift will make a save.
Yeah, if he had a little more muscle on that shot and put it in a little swifter, it would have been interesting, because Swift hasn't seen the puck for a little bit.
Yep.
And that's what you always worry about when you're a goalie. Even it plays with your head.
Yeah, no, it's like you said, you'll often see a lot of times when a goaltender isn't seeing a lot of shots, more active coming out playing the puck too, just to stay in the action.
They start skating, and I'm not a proponent. If you're not of coming out of your net, if you're not Marty Marjorie, I always say stay in your net.
Yeah, he was pretty good at it. He was one that could do it okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was going to say, even in the All-Star game, they almost got Anderson a goal, because that goal is actually consented from end to end pretty easily.
Yeah. It's a skill to work on, and sometimes they'll be their best penalty killer and clear at the length of the ice. But right now we're 5-a-side. DU's going to sweep it out to center. It's played onto by Battistoni's stick, and then he's going to give it over to his defense partner, Woodruff. It's tied up now along the wall. Helping out there is Austin. Dug out by the Bulls, tipped in over the line, and actually it didn't get in deep as it got deflected back toward the Bulls bench. Sherman Maury on an offensive forecheck pressure. Big hit thrown there by Bussing as he's going to run out Szynski. And the Panthers have it in their own end.
Yeah, Bussing's that guy that you want to see out there. He really lays it down. He's a penalty minute leader for the Panthers.
Yeah, he's a big boy out there, so you got to keep your head up when 88's on the ice. But it's back the other way with Schiffman. Angled off the boards for Micah there to grab it. Schiffman, though, applying the pressure. Give and go back, and Schiffman still up on the forecheck. Good work by him. Flip to center ice. It's kicked down. Bassett with a little bit of a bump, and a touch pass finds its way to Fonseca. Dropped off, cutting through. Maury with a hat trick. And it's 3 for Maury. One hat finds its way to the ice, and the Panthers have a 6-1 lead.
Yeah, I think I don't know if there was a intentional shift by Buffalo to start playing the trap, but they tried to set a picket line up on the blue line here, 3 guys across, and busting through it, and ends up with a hat trick. Nice play by Mr. Maury. Well done, lad.
So 6-1 our score as Sherman Maury will net the hat trick goal, his 3rd of the game. Meanwhile, on the season, I believe he had 10 on the season, so 13 total now, including the tournament here. Yeah, Sherman Maury in 32 games, 10 goals. Now in one national tournament game, he's got 3.
You know, there's always an it factor when it comes to the national tournament, and you'll see a player that plays well during the year but comes alive in the tournament, and that's right now that's Mr. Maury. He's got the #1 star for the game so far, but we've got a lot of hockey to play yet. Another 20-minute period coming up. That
is for sure, as a long shot in will be held off there by the netminder Shorthouse.
Well, this is where we hope that cooler heads prevail. With a 6-1 this third period, I'm sure they're going to want to start taking the body a little bit to rough up the play, and you just don't want it to get out of hand. I mean, these kids are in college. They're trying to get an education, and we want to make sure everybody goes home with everything they had.
That's well said, very well said. Something to keep in mind, whether it's 6-1, 16-1, or 0-0. It's a good lesson for everybody here at the national tournament. The Bulls try to clear it around after a face-off win. It's turned over and a shot. Oh, and Holford, I don't know how that got stopped. And he then got run over and bumped out Shorthouse. That was a lot going on that play.
Yeah, Shorthouse is, it'll be fun to see. We haven't been keeping the stats up here, but he's been shelled quite a bit here.
Lazicki now gets in and forces a turnover, but it's grabbed back by Ledyard. The Bulls now bring it to center, 2-on-3. They cut on to make it a 3-on-4, but a good outlet gets it a 2-on-2. There's a shot, Swift to save, and he will hold it with 1:51 to go here in period number 2.
Yeah, I'm sure hoping Shorthouse doesn't get PSDT or whatever, because he's seen a lot of pucks this period, and some of them have gone behind him, unfortunately.
Yeah, but to his credit, I don't really know if he had a great chance on any of the 6 goals, just thinking about it.
No, not at all. Again, there's 5 guys on the ice that can keep that shot from coming off. Again, it's just one thing you learn when you're up in Canada, it's not the goalie. doesn't matter how easy it looked, it's never the goalie. There are 5 guys that should have never let that shot go.
See, that's funny, because down here it seems like it's always the goalie. Yeah, you should get 100% of 100 shots.
Yep.
Meanwhile, it's played back by the Bulls. They had a chance off to that faceoff. Big hit by Ian Thompson, and we're going to get a penalty coming for boarding. and the Bulls will get a power play here with 1:27. So for the second consecutive period, if they don't score, they will start another period on the power play.
That was fortunate that nothing happened there, because it was very, very close to a knee-on-knee as they were trying to hold it out. So got Krug in the box. Well, we'll see. See if they can call back to that, take some of that lead off, get back to 4, and then stay in it. They've been known to come back.
Absolutely, they have. There's a puck played around. The Bulls power play, 0 for 1 so far today.
And Maury.
Look out. He's got 3 and a rising shot. Didn't get him 4, and that's going to be held. And I don't know why the ref waited so long to give him the whistle there, as it was held by Shorthouse.
Yeah, Maury was talking to the ref. I'm not sure what he saw I'm not sure it wasn't something he didn't like. He looks like he wanted an explanation more of something that was going on in the ice. Yeah, the speed of the speed of the Panthers is showing up again here in the second period. They're not just going through the motions because they're up this high. They are attacking the puck on all shifts.
You know, they scored their first goal of the period at the 9:11 mark, and really up till then, it was a pretty even period as the Bulls were coming off actually maybe one of their best, most sustained offense shifts of the entire game when DU scored that goal. That puck's going to be cleared back down. We're into the final 45 seconds of the period. 1:16 on the clock of the penalty.
Yeah, I know there's the period's winding down, but I'd like to see a little bit of the sense of urgency here out of the Bulls.
They will gain the line as it's deflected in. Formica comes over to try to clear it, cutting to the middle. Look out, a chance at the rebound, short side, an opportunity. Bulls fire it in, and Swift, I don't think he knew he got that save. Has Lask had the opportunity? Well, you wanted a little bit more there coming from the Bulls.
There you go. Again, that Swift with that butterfly. When you can't see the puck, spread out, make yourself as large as possible.
Yeah, he did that. I don't know if he saw that last save that he made, but he made it. With now 8 to go, the Bulls will try to get one more rush up ahead. It got poked away from Austin. It's going to be jabbed back in. And that's going to do it for period number 2. And a final bump off as the horn sounds. But they will part peacefully. DU with a 3-goal period. They have back-to-back 3-goal periods and a 6-1 lead. Pretty good period of play there, that is for sure.
Well, we'll see what happens. Oh, they got players coming back out on the ice. I guess they're just coming to help Swift out, make his trip. He looks gassed.
Well, though that final flourish was a big one for him there with
Good
the power
for
play
him.
winding down.
Yeah, he's just talking to the coaches now. It's like, holy cow, did I save that many?
Yeah.
A couple pucks hit him that he didn't even know he was saved.
Definitely not. I know that last left leg kick save was one that I don't think he knew was coming, but he made the save. So through 40 minutes so far, DU with a 6-1 lead. And the Bulls had their moments in the first 10 minutes of that period, but again, DU really taking control.
Yeah, it's all that speed, and we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, folks, we're going to go ahead and step aside. We have put 40 in the books here in Game 1 of the ACHA Men's National Tournament. Alrighty, folks, welcome back inside the Ohio Health Ice House here. Game 1 of the ACHA National Tournament. The Davenport Panthers, the 14 seed, lead the Buffalo Bulls by a score of 6-1. The 19 seed. Going to run down the goals here real fast for you. In the first, it was Cowan from Guidelock at 1:28, Mowry unassisted at 12:38, and then Gessler from Weisgerber at 15:53. In period number 2, DU would get their 4-0 lead on a goal by Mowry from Ryder at 9:11. Buffalo would answer with their only goal so far at the 10:24 mark, Wilk unassisted. And then Ogden would score on the power play from Ian Thompson at 15:21. And the final goal of the period came at 17:15, Mowry with the hat trick goal from Gessler.
Yeah, Mowry really has some wheels. He actually almost got another one here on almost at the end of the period. And yeah, it's like you said, it's a nit factor. Also, Mowry, 10 goals during the season and 3 here in one game. You love to see that when you love to see a player just rise to the moment. Congratulations, lad. Well done.
Yep, absolutely. As the shots on goal now, DU had 17 in the second for a 2-period total of 21. Buffalo was credited with 9 for a 2-period total of 16. And it is Buffalo. We look down, it is Tyler Stark, the new netminder here, as they have made a goaltender change. Number 31 in net for the Bulls to start period 3.
Yeah, we talked about that between periods. If this game gets up, you're going to give your backup a chance to play in the national championship. Well done by the coach.
Yeah, and we also talked about this earlier as well. You know, to Stackhouse's credit, Shorthouse's credit, I don't know if there was really a bad goal in the 6th that he gave up.
No, he stood tall. He's got nothing to be ashamed of. Really good effort that he put in. Really challenged all the shooters.
Yep, the carryover power play has expired. We're back to 5-a-side hockey, but the Bulls have possession of the puck below the goal line. They will wrap and send it in front, and just not able to get enough on the one-timer there was Bennett with an opportunity.
He get his front hand too far down on the stick and didn't have any momentum to pull the trigger.
Everett Thompson with a rink-wide feed and a spinning shot, and that gets the backboards. As DU still looking to add to their goal total here. Bouncing puck at center, going to be controlled and brought in now by Guay. He'll look to get wide, and a good job by Formica to rub him out of the play, and Formica will chip it on further. Ryder plays it around on the backhand, and Corrigan through the Blue Jackets logo. He'll circle in the circle, leave it off there, and actually play it around. A little bit of a collision, and Cowan tried to dig it out. Corrigan just sent it through the crease, but nobody home on the backside for the Panthers.
Yeah, it's nice to see that the Bulls are stepping up their game, trying to help their netminder. Sometimes that helps. That's all the coach wants is a different message out on the ice, and they may have that here.
Delayed penalty upcoming. DU in their one power play opportunity scored, and they will go to a second opportunity here as a tripping call upcoming. The Bulls are 0 for 2. Panthers 1 for 1, just their second opportunity. So as we've talked about early on, we were happy with the officiating. It stayed pretty consistent, pretty good so far.
Yeah, they've called the calls that should have been made, and they let some go that, when there wasn't a hockey play to be made, they let it go. So here we go. Poor Stark, he's going to look right at it here, but he has a .903 save percentage. So, he's won 7 of 2 games during the season, so he's not really, I wouldn't really call him a backup. He's a good substitute.
Yeah, I believe they both, on weekend sets, you kind of need 2 goalies. It's better to go with a guy on Friday and a guy on Saturday. Somebody of the weekend sets are just Friday and Saturday, where you can get both guys action, and you end up having 2 number 1s almost.
Yeah, I was looking at that as we were going through here. Some of these teams, they've got a clear number 1, but some of them, it's well spread out, 7-2, 8-1, that there's 3 goalies, and all of them are playing almost double-digit games.
So the Panthers go to the power play here with 1:25 still remaining on it. We got 17:45 to go here in period number 3. They are on top by 5 and looking for more. It's backhanded in.
I don't know if this plays with the mindset, but this isn't a round robin or a pool tournament. This is a one and done. So, there's no reason to take your foot off the gas or power it on either. So it'll be interesting to see what the Panthers want to do here.
Halford has it at the top of the circle, and a rising shot got the glass. Corrigan will now retreat in the far side corner. To the far side point. Sent it on through. It got deflected, but missed anybody for the Panthers, and now it's going to be cleared the length of the ice. Swift will have to come out and play it. He'll leave it for his defenseman, Gessler.
Yeah, there's a kind of a slow line change here. They're moving through the neutral zone. I like that trailing play there where any one of the 3 folks, the Panthers, can pick that puck and take it up ice.
And now Ian Thompson cuts through with a chance and a I think he might have bunted that just wide on the rebound as well.
I wasn't sure. That almost looked like it popped out of his glove and hit the goalpost and then went down to the ice.
Wow, it was a good opportunity on the rush for the Panthers, and it's going to end up being cleared here with just a quarter of a minute to go on the power play. Drop pass, and Gessler has it again. He didn't like what he had, so he pulls back at that ACHA logo, and now will drift back in his own end.
Now give me some puck support, will you?
Yeah, that's basically what he looked like. Nobody was coming back to help. Ogden trying to pick it up, but it's controlled now by the defenseman Woodruff. Puck at center and falling down and playing it ahead. Ian Thompson 1-on-3, tries to get through, moving in on the left wing side. He blew a tire trying to cut back, and it's going to be flipped out to center by Austin. Controlled and circled back did Woodruff. It's turned over though. Ian Thompson, a quick shot, and that one seems to surprise Stark, but he made the save.
Yeah, he's made 3 saves so far, and he's standing tall, and he is tall.
Well, we talked about how Shorthouse was only 5'11" as they bring it in, and Maury just put one wide on that opportunity. Stark, it says here, also 5'11", so they're the same size apparently.
Yeah, he looks a little bigger.
He's got taller skate blades.
There you go.
That must be it.
Lifting him up off the ice.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could see Maurer on that one too. He just seems to find the open ice and the open spaces that other players haven't found in this tournament.
Guide lock a shot, that's stuck away. DU still trying to keep the pressure on despite the lead. A shot by Bussing got deflected and hit the backboards, and the Bulls have it as everybody kind of unravels here, seeing where it was. It got poked off the stick of Szynski as he gained the line. Szynski on it again. He gets hit by Fonseca. The puck is left for Bassett, who's bumped from behind. Tried to give it to Fonseca to move out of the zone. That didn't work. A little bump by Guidelock. There's a sharp angle shot. Came out of the net. The rebound as Swift had it, and the extra opportunity went wide.
That's tough when it's in your glove and you can't close it in your trapper fast enough to keep that rebound. The rebound popped right out.
We've seen it a couple times here from all 3 netminders that have played where it's been in the glove and ended up coming right back out into play. DU still applying the pressure here. Ryder, it's sent across and it's in as Corrigan just threw it towards the cage, and I don't believe it was deflected on the way through, and the Panthers now with a 7-1 lead.
Yeah, Stark thought he had that angle, but just caught the far post. Nice play by the Panthers here. They're up 7-1, 14:33 left in the period. Pretty much command of this game. So again, let's hope cooler heads prevail as this goes through, and we can move on and get through this next 15 minutes.
Especially for the Panthers, they don't want to get anybody a game DQ because that means that you're out the next day. So it's very important too. Not that it's not important for the team behind, but the team that's ahead too really needs to keep their cool in these situations. Centering pass there was Fandon. They tried to scoop it again to the middle. Did not work there. DU in control. They drift it back to the point. Formica saucers one across. Ryder steps into one. It's deflected and rolled 5-hole, and the whistle blows, and Stark didn't like where everybody was. Everybody takes swipes, and here's your point about cooler heads prevailing.
Yeah, I had him in Thompson in a headlock, but again, refs come in. Good job by the linesman to come in and say, lads, let's make sure everybody gets to play.
And they do separate peacefully for now.
And no calls. I like that.
Yeah,
no calls.
I agree.
Go back to your benches, cool off, lads. Put another group on the ice, get those 2 players off. It's got to be frustrating for the Bulls. They're a great hockey team. They came down the stretch, won their conference tournament to play into this tournament, and they just ran into a team with so much speed that it just overwhelmed them in the first 2 periods. Yeah,
Lazicki with a takeaway there as that speed again, as you just mentioned, comes into play as on the back check there. Got the turnover. Now Weisgerber below the goal line. Weisgerber tried to stuff it back out front. It didn't find Halford. Halford's had a lot of attempts today. Nothing to show for it, but it seems like we've said his name a lot.
Yeah, he's been around the puck a lot, and eventually your chances will come. Sometimes you wait for those breaks. Oh, that was a interesting tip right into his own bench.
Yeah, got gloved down, and let's see where they move the face off here as a result.
Yeah, Guay sent it in his own bench.
Face-off will be right in front of the Bulls bench here at center ice. Ian Thompson will settle in to take it against number 12, Richard Ledyard. This Bull team actually had 3 scores in the top 25 with Szynski, Pietrowicz, and Ledyard. So they have the ability to score, but as you mentioned, the speed just kind of got to him here today.
Yeah, they just have found the bounces and found the seams. Seems like the way either a stick or a player has been in the way of every time they try to send it through.
Yeah, and there's
an example of it.
Yep. And we get an offside play, and that last opportunity even was an example of it, where the back check again didn't allow that shot and that pass to come through the middle.
Yep, it's been a good system, and you can just see by the body language that the Panthers have. They're pretty excited. They've got a lot of jump in their step.
They will, barring the unforeseen comeback here, the Lindenwood Lions await the Panthers 10 a.m. tomorrow after a face-off there. Bassage is going to jump in. He had a man going to the net. It was redirected there, and Stark will hold, and we will get a whistle. Want to also mention that we do still have 3 more games today. Number 13, UNLV, will play Drexel at 2:15. Number 15, Stony Brook gets Pittsburgh at 5:30. And then Arizona closes the night against Missouri State at 8:45.
Yeah, those are all, I've had the privilege of watching Nevada, the Raiders play, and also Arizona coming out of the western states, and some really good teams here. Really, it'll be fun to watch.
A hard shot that got blockered. If it was going into rows, probably would have ended in row 15 after it was blockered out of play, but it hits the mesh netting, and we will get a whistle here.
That almost sounded like a catcher's mitt. 100-mile-an-hour fastball hitting the catcher's mitt.
That's a great analogy. That's exactly what that sounded like. Face-off win again for the Panthers, and a rising shot by Fonseca gets the glass. Plug will come over and try to keep it in. It's deflected high, and Gessler is in control. He'll give it over to Fonseca. Fonseca will look to stretch the play. The lead feed got to center ice, but didn't get by any further. Tipping it in, Austin tried to make a move. Glove down with a little space there. A shot, and Swift was able to shrug it away.
Yeah, Buffalo. That's where that danger is again, with Swift not seeing a lot of shots. He looked like he struggled on that one a little bit.
He had to fight that one off for sure as the Bulls come back to get it. It's Bennett on a long stretch pass. That is an onside play. They got a man cutting, and just a step behind it was Szynski. He wraps and throws it through, and a good job by Swift as he stole the centering pass and will hold it for a face-off with 12:13 to go in the third.
Yeah, smart play by Swift there. He'd seen enough. Again, not seeing a lot of pucks on his leather in this period. He says, okay, let's just calm this thing down. Let's not let him crawl back into this game with 12 minutes left, and smart play by the goaltender.
Offensive zone face-off here for the Bulls as Swift takes his time getting himself back together here, drops the helmet, and we're good to go in a right-wing offensive zone face-off for the Bulls. It was won by the Panthers, but nearly turned over, and Halford's got to force it up the boards. It gets to the line and out, and now a foot race back the other way is won by number 21, Bennett, as he'll keep it at center ice. Turning with it and bringing it up is Schiffman. Schiffman moves in on the left side. It got poked off of his stick by Fonseca, or excuse me, that was Formica over there, and the Bulls have to regroup in their own end.
Yeah, as I watch this, I'm not quite sure if they've moved back into a trapping game, the Panthers, but they sure are backing up a lot more here in this period with that kind of lead. It's just like, let's get through this game. I think that's a really smart play, because you get to try everything in this game.
Yep.
You know, this is where the coach says, what are we going to learn? We're going to learn to make 3 passes before we shoot.
I like that. That's a great point. And DU with a mad scramble in front had 4 opportunities from point-blank range, and Stark was up to the task on all of them. And finally, the Bulls striker will play it around the near side boards, and that's going to give Guay an opportunity to clear it out. He will lob one rink wide, easy for me to say, as Everett will steal it towards his own boards. Everett Thompson, Lazicki sends it ahead, and it's directed in as DU will finish a line change here.
Yeah, if you're the coach of the Bulls, that's what you tell. Just win this shift. Let's one shift at a time.
Halford will force the play. It gets sent in. Lazicki steals it and gives it to Halford, but it was taken right back away on a good play by the forward Penzak. Sent over into an open wing. Bulls are there first, and they're going to go ahead and scoop it to center. It bounces down at the Columbus Blue Jacket logo at center ice, and Tyler Plug's going to play it over to the near side wall. DU player falls down on the play. No penalty forthcoming. Good job letting him play there. Weisgerber kind of handcuffed his defenseman with a tough pass, but Geidlock was able to push it ahead anyway.
Little pick there by the Bulls.
Meanwhile, a puck rolling through the middle, trying to center it while on his backside was the DU forward, and a penalty coming up here, and I think it's going to go to Geidlock for a late collision.
Might be interference here. Didn't have the puck. Yeah, the call is interference. Again, that wasn't an intentional interference. That was a collision. Both players in the wrong place at the wrong time, but the call's made. Again, good call. Good call by this refereeing crew. They've done a great job keeping this game. We've got 10 minutes left as the countdown starts here to the first game of the opening of the tournament.
And actually, they're going to take the timeout early here, folks. We're going to go ahead and take it too. We're going to step aside. DU on top, 7-1. Bulls coming back on the power play.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by the Columbus Blue Jackets. For tickets and more, visit bluejackets.com. R-Bar, the official ACHA 2018 Nationals post-game hangout and best hockey bar in Columbus. And by the Greater Columbus Sports Commission. Columbus has no off-season.
Welcome back inside the Ohio Health Ice House here. The ACHA Men's National Tournament kicking off. This is game 1. The 14th seeded Panthers against the 19th seeded Buffalo Bulls, and the Panthers with a 7-1 lead with 10:19 to go in the third period. The Bulls about to go to the power play. I'm Thomas Biondo, happy to be with you, and I'm here with Jay Sewell. Jay, thoughts on the game so far here for those of us just joining us?
Well, it started out as a beautiful sunny day outside, and then the clouds moved in, and the clouds seem to be hovering right over the bench of the Bulls because they've had a cloudy time here, and the Panthers have stayed in the sunshine.
They will now work to the man advantage, see if they can't get one of these back. But DU, dogged work, will get it cleared to the line, not out, and it's dropped back by Woodruff, nobody home, and DU is going to send 2 forecheckers in on a penalty kill while up 6. That's a bit of a play, huh?
Actually, I like it because, again, it's a learning experience. You know, it's a probably 99-1 odds or even higher that they've got this game in hand. And they're trying things. I like that coaching style.
Well, you know, and they've been aggressive on their penalty kill in the first 2 Bull opportunities. So, you know, you just want to keep your penalty kill. You don't want to form those bad habits. So you want those 2 guys going in, I guess, just to kind of make sure you know, hey, tomorrow's a 0-0 game. You know, if we get to the penalty kill, that's what you got to do, guys.
Yeah, what did Herbie Brooks say when they were playing the Russians in the Olympics? Play your game.
Yeah.
Play your game.
Exactly right. And the Panthers continue to do that as a shot there. Got the backboards off the stick of Woodruff. He's got it again. Plays it off on the right wing. Cantor looks towards the net. Centered on through, and good collapse there as Ledyard had gotten into the slot area, but DU collapsed on him quickly. Ledyard now coming off on a line change with 9:09 to go.
He didn't get the shot he wanted, did
No, they just got back checked at the last minute. Play side of the net. Look out here, what a move, and Swift a save, but a fantastic move by a Bulls forward there. Want to get a number of that.
Yeah, that was that their captain? Nope, that's their assistant captain.
It looked like Petrovitz, number 17, skating off. What a fantastic move in tight.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice set of hands that you saw by that lad. Very nice play.
The Bulls still have 42 with which to work on the power play.
Second unit's on the ice for the Bulls. Oh, they had the face off, and again, you start anticipating. That's like that wide receiver who takes his eyes off the ball at the last minute, and that's exactly what happened here. He had the puck in control, took his eyes off it where he wanted to go, and puck's gone.
Now the Bulls lose 15 seconds of time going back to get it, and DU's able to punch it out at the line again. And drifting back into his own end is Bennett. Bennett plays it ahead. It was soccered in and not far enough, though, by Bezzioni, I believe, who was on the far side. And DU's going to clear it down with just 10 seconds to go in the power play.
Yeah, there's trouble coming up ice with this trapping in the neutral zone there. Again, trap was very effective.
Yeah, Bennett actually just tried to loft it in. I wonder if maybe a heart around there would have been a little bit better, as Fonseca's going to send one the length, and that will be an icing as the power play had expired. With 8:10 to go here. And also want to mention Barron's Championship Rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA National Championships and ACHA Hall of Famers. Every championship ring has a great story. Let Barron share yours.
Yeah, it's fun to, you're in the championship, your chances, you've got 20 teams. You know, anybody can win on anyone to pick up that ring. That's what they want. That's what they're playing for.
And we get a timeout taken by Davenport here after the icing call. So the Panthers are going to go ahead and use their timeout. We'll keep it right here with you as the Panthers, again, I guess, trying to avoid bad habits at 8:10 of the third period with a 6-goal lead. They choose to use their timeout after an icing call.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right thing to do here. Where again, no bad habits. It's not to have a worry about pulling the goalie or what you're going to do if the other team pulls the goalie. It's really, let's rest our players. Let's talk about the game, lads. Don't get excited. Don't make mistakes, because this is when complacency can come in, and I think that's what the coach is trying to stop here, is any complacency on the part of his players moving into their game. You just don't want that. You want to go through you want to end this game in a high, so you can go into the next game with that high feeling.
Also, I do work with the Davenport Panthers, and Phil Sweeney's never shy about using his timeout. Very rarely we're a game end where he still has his timeout to use. So this is just another example of him using said timeout. Meanwhile, it's offensive zone face-off in the left wing corner here for the Bulls. The draw is won by the Bulls, and trying to get over to it was Cummins. He just could not, and now a steal. DU will bring it in 2-on-1. Send it on through, and they score.
There you go, tic-tac-toe. It wasn't a third hit, but you could see they left Stark out there. He had to watch the shooter. He has to watch the shooter, and it was nice for to go wide to be able to take that to the net. So
Ogden was the first one through the handshake line, so we would project that he's going to get the goal here. It was a quick turnover at center, and DU turned a 2-on-2 into a 2-on-1, and they were able to finish.
Yeah, Ogden's impressed me. He's been around the puck all day. It's good for him to get that goal, but again, the hockey sense he had, rather than coming straight in through the slot, he started to veer off, and then again, you open that space up, and that now the goalie's got to get side to side, and that's moving east-west. That's what you want that goalie to have to do.
And he was able to put it in by him there as Weisgerber will chip it in.
Well, the timeout was effective.
Yeah, that's a good point. As DU takes the timeout about 15 seconds before that, and they score. It is given to Joey Ogden, his second of the game. Sherman Mowry with 3 tonight. And 2 other Panthers have also found the score sheet, and Gessler being one of them, and Ian Thompson being who's got the other one here? Corrigan with the other one.
That's been spread out, but again, I don't think they went into this game thinking Maury was going to get a hat trick. Yeah. So that's fantastic for that young lad to step up in the big game.
Buffalo now looking to get some offense going here as it's turned over at center, or knocked away at the blue line. The Bulls stay in control of it. Drifting back here is Wilk. He'll send it rink wide, and over it is Kerbeil. Kerbeil on the backhand, got it as far as center, and DU's just going to go ahead and spike it in wide past Stark into the corner. Everett Thompson with one hand on the stick will go in, make a little check here. Guidelock plays it off the near side boards, and it's going to roll back in for the Bulls.
Yeah, there's still fighting. I like the fact that both teams are still trying to win each shift, and you can see that. Here we go with the Bulls getting a nice chance here.
Just a little too much on that for Guay, and Guidelock's going to win the race. It was a good idea trying to bank it off the boards on that pass, but it ends up rolling the length of the ice, and it'll be an icing call, face-off back in the DU offensive end.
Yeah, Guay had some wheels on that. He came up good rush by that young lad.
So the face-off will be in the right wing circle here for the Panthers. Maury settling in to take it against number 15, Lask. Draw won by the Panthers. Basic tried to play it deep. He could not. On second effort, he keeps it. I think it's locked up in his apparel. Now it hits the ice, and Tuasad will do battle.
Again, nice. In the old days, a whistle would have blown.
Yeah,
nice to see that. They make him move the puck now.
Centering past to Fonseca didn't connect. You're right. Let's keep it going if it's on the board. If you can see it, let's keep that play going. Referees, it's one of the things that's gotten better. Very hesitant to blow a play dead on a board scramble. There's a puck to the middle and a shot on. Ian Thompson had the opportunity. Fonseca had the rebound. Fonseca soccered it over to a winger, and it gets sent in deep.
Boy, Fonseca was just keeping an eye on the puck. That was really nice little hands to keep it kicking it between his feet and his stick.
The Bulls, though, are finally able to gain control, and they'll send it in. Two aside again, do battle. Referee watching. It's dug out. A wrap attempt, and it banked right off the netminder. Guay had that opportunity. And Basic was able to sidestep a check and brought on by Ian. Yeah. Top of the circle, a drive, and that's blockered up.
Guay just bounced off a busing.
Again, a lot of guys will do that as it comes to center. And actually, the other goal was scored by Cowan. He had the first one. He got the scoring going with Maury with 3 and Ogden with 2. And Gessler and Cowan, the goal scorers for DU.
Yeah, if you look back at this at the last 55 minutes, that was really a message that the Panthers sent. right away. We're on top of our game, and we're going to show it to you. You're going to play our game. We're not going to play yours.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Sweeney in the early, and he said that we mentioned it during the broadcast, 10-10 to start the year through the first 20, and he mentioned that he had a mass unit that he was working with for the most part, and really everybody started getting healthy right around after Christmas into the early to mid stages of January, and hoping to put it all together for a run here at Nationals.
Yeah, well-coached team again. They stay in their system. Again, as we talked earlier, taking this time out, they listen to their coach, which is good.
Puck's now tied up along the near side boards. It's going to be played out to Weisgerber. Wade Weisgerber is just going to angle it in deep on a little dump and chase here. Lazicki along the near side boards has it for a moment. More bodies come together. It's dug out, though, and led ahead. Open wing, a nice little play there by Bussing as he sidestepped Petrowitz. Sent to the middle, Holford. He'll snap one, and Stark will make a save. And they, again, part peacefully-ish. A little bit of pushing and shoving there between Stryker and the Davenport forward. But, again, they will skate away now with 4:24 to go in an 8-1 game.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting picking a fight with a guy that's 40 pounds heavier than you. But, again, that's what hockey's all about. It's not about size. It's about passion. That's, it doesn't matter your stature. And like coaches say, there's two things we can't teach is size and passion. We can teach you skills. But those two things you've got, that's what separates things between when you get to Bantam to Bantam into the next level is just that.
Meanwhile, a break back now by Szynski. Drops it off, but the play was offside at the line with 4:11 to go. Again, our next game up will be UNLV versus Drexel in the 13-20 match. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's the two teams that I've not seen. It'd be fun to stick around and watch them because they're going to get to play again, one of those teams tomorrow. So.
Yep, the winner will get the likely crowd favorite, Ohio, as they played in the national title last year and had a good turnout. So the winner of that game will get Ohio, as the winner of this one gets Lindenwood. And there's a shot by Ryder that gets the glass.
Yeah, that's another example of how college hockey is so much fun. You get a team, Minot, that leads literally the standings the entire year and gets beat in the championship game by an amped-up Ohio.
Yep. As that's going to be sent in by Corrigan, and it's going to be held by Stark, and they push all the way in, and now they jab both sides at Corrigan. They might take
a couple rapid punches there. Corrigan's just trying to get out of there.
And they will break apart again.
Corrigan's looking, are you going to call something?
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Davenport skating by the bench, yelling at the Buffalo bench. Buffalo yelling right back.
Lots of chirping going on.
Yep.
Lots of chirping. That's good hockey.
Absolutely. Good to watch, too, as Weisgerber off a draw. That got the glass after it hit a leg. They tie it up below the goal line, but it's going to be dug out here by Woodruff.
Again, that was good positioning by Stark there. Just, again, you didn't know if that puck was coming or not. Just you're in the right place.
And here's a chance across. Oh, and a save by Swift. It came across to Connor Guay, and Swift with a double-stat Packer and glove save.
Flashing the glove. Look at that. Yeah, he was actually pretty surprised, I think. He made the right play, but he's looking at that, and he went around to the Statue of Liberty with that puck in his glove.
And it did not bite him like it's bit some goalies showing the past Statue of Liberty, as he keeps that one, and a great stop. Good rush by the Bulls to get the 2-on-1. Guay with the opportunity, and the save was made by Swift.
But I gotta like the pushback here by the Bulls to not lay down. They're still coming at the net when they can.
And protecting their own net, too, as we've seen on the last few shifts as well. Lale dumps it into the corner. Lazicki backhands it around to the far side corner where Lale's back on it. He gave it away, though. It was intercepted by Kubler. Played further now to Austin.
He tried the cycle, but kind of fell apart on him.
Yep, as Lazicki's going to take it away. He played it to Plug, who nearly lost it, but he lifted a stick to nicely gain control, and the Bulls are back at center ice. They fire it in. Swift will come out to tee it up. Plug has it below the net here.
It's interesting. No one went back to get it, though. You do a chip in like that, you got to send somebody fast. Yep.
Meanwhile, DU drops it off, and there was nobody there. Centering pass, though, didn't connect. Szynski had it, and this is the bad habits that we were talking about that you don't want. A turnover in front, and a save was made as Kubler put it over the net as he just got back checked off on the opportunity.
Yeah, it's the old one high, one low, one fast, one slow.
Yeah.
And that broke down. Broke down by both teams.
Yeah, it did, actually. No icing here with 2:15 to go. 8-1 our score. The Bulls are setting up behind their cage. With it and leading the rush would be Woodford. He dropped it off, and the same thing happens now on the other end. Corrigan with a shot, Stark a save, and Buffalo's just going to jam it off the boards.
I almost get the sense that both these teams just want to get off the ice right now.
I could not agree with you more. That seems to be 100% accurate. The Bulls will bring 3 over the line, and they bring them in offside, as carrying it offside was Ledyard, and with 1:51 to go, another whistle and face-off coming up. And actually, I think something happened behind the play as well, as a penalty coming up to Tanner Woodruff.
Yeah, there was a little bit at the blue line there that came together. And
so DU will go to a power play. They are 1 for 2 on the man advantage. The Bulls are, let's see here, they are 0 for 2. Or excuse me, 0 for 3 with the man advantage. Off a face-off win, it's going to be played around the boards. Guidelock keeps it in, hands it off. Circling was Ian Thompson. That shot actually hit Stryker and got deflected down. Guidelock keeps it in at the far side point, fanned on it, and it gets chipped out to center by number 20, Penzak. Ryder plays it on back. It was out of the reach of Corrigan, so he'll have to go all the way back behind his cage to get it. This game will end shorthanded with the Bulls unless anything unforeseen happens or a Panther power play goal is scored. Carried on ahead and over the line, Corrigan, left wing side, top of the circle, cuts to the middle and fires one that gets the glass.
Yeah, that was actually a good play. He had other options, but just put it on net. If it goes in, it goes in. Otherwise, just keep the puck moving. Don't make any stoppages in plays right now.
Same thing right there again by Corrigan. Guidelock falling back to the line, kept it in. It's played on the backhand by Bennett, out to the line, and Lale has it. He's going to send it over. Bassich will gain the line. Right back in come the Panthers. Sam Bassich on the outside rim of the far side circle. Little spinorama play as he's caught up at the hash marks. Good tie-up now by the Bulls. DU needs to get support in as they try to finish a line change. It's kicked free by Bassich. A little toe drag by Fonseca. Boy, has he made some stick moves and puck moves today.
Yeah, his hands have been really good. Again, Maury and again, even Ogden. They've got some. If I had to take a player of the game, Thomas, I mean, who would be your pick? Who would be your pick for the #1 star here?
I got to go with Sherman Maury because in addition to the hat trick, which makes it, I know, obvious, he's had 3 or 4 other chances to cash in goals. Fonseca has been good as well, as you mentioned, but I really think that Maury has created a lot of offense here for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'd probably give a star to Swift, too, because he's been standing tall this whole game.
Yep, and like we said, it can be tough to do that in a game where you're not seeing a lot of rubber, then to have to come up and make a big grade A save, and he's answered the bell here. The final 20 seconds of this one kind of tick down. One last rush here for DU. Fonseca tried to cut through the middle. It got poked off by Petrowitz. Somebody lost the glove and a stick. It's going to be picked up by the Bulls. DU now at the corner, and they centered it, and Fonseca couldn't come up with it. He'll drop it on back to the point. He missed everybody as it splits the middle with 2 seconds and 1, and there is the horn. And we are through our first game at the ACHA National Tournament, and the 14-seeded Panthers have beaten the number 19-seeded Bulls.
Yeah, it was a beautiful game that the Panthers put together. They stuck to their game plan. Even through the third period when they had a sizable lead, they never moved off their game. And but again, the Bulls, I tell you, they hung in there. They played every shift. They just got outpaced here. I guess that's the best way to pull it. Is they just didn't have the speed and the jump in those first 2 periods to keep up with the Panthers.
Yeah, DU scores 3 in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third. The Bulls get their lone goal in the second period, as you see the handshakes now at center ice as the two teams will, one of the greatest tradition in hockey, the post-game handshake in an elimination type game.
Well, it's also there's something about hockey. It's a warrior sport. You put a bunch of armor on, you get a weapon, and you go out and you play the game and you say, go get that puck. And it really is quite a nice tradition that you honor your opponent, win or lose. It's you humble down and shake everybody's hands. Yeah,
and that's great to see as they finish this up, and we're going to finish this first game up here. Davenport, the 14 seed, has beaten Buffalo by a score of 8-1. They will play at 10 a.m. tomorrow against the number 3 seeded, 10 a.m. tomorrow against the 3 seeded Lindenwood Lions. Folks, I'm Thomas Biondo. I've been joined by Jay Sewell. Thank you so much for joining us here on the ACHA National Tournament. Game 1 is complete. Coming up next, real soon, the UNLV Drexel game at 2:15. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great day.